Okay, can I request everyone to say sadhu to start the discussion session?
Sadhu,
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Panchahi bhikkhave dhammehi samannagato bhikkhu attahitaya cha patipanno hoti parahitaya cha. Katamehi panchahi ida bhikkhave bhikkhu attanava sila sampanno hoti parancha sila sampadaya samadapeti. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Dear friends in the Dhamma, this particular verse, I have selected it from a discourse that is appearing in the numerical discourses. The numerical discourses are divided into the number of Dhamma facts that is available in the particular stanza. So I think, as far as I remember, it is divided into 12 sections. The stanzas which contains one Dhamma factor, stanzas which contains two Dhamma factors, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, etc. And they have divided up to 12. So in the last one, if I'm correct, it may be 12 or 11, I'm not exactly sure. In the last one, there are that many number of Dhamma factors that are given. But in this particular one, it is appearing in the books for 5. In the books of 5s, even that is divided into sections. And this particular one is appearing in the section of powers, which is talking about welfare of self and others. So that is the name of the sutta. It says Attahita. Attahita means welfare of the self. Parahita means welfare of the others. So in this particular stanza that I just recited, the Blessed One is saying, because possessing 5 qualities, a bhikkhu is practicing both for his own welfare and for the welfare of the others. And he starts saying, what 5? And number 1, he says, a bhikkhu is himself accomplished in virtuous behavior and encourages others to become accomplished in virtuous behavior. So that's the first one. So I have taken only the first one because I'm not going to discuss all 5 in this session. In fact, this particular discourse was started earlier, and we have already discussed some aspect of this in that session, in the previous session. But anyway, we are going to continue the same factor, which is being virtuous by oneself and encouraging others to be virtuous is the thing I'm going to discuss even today. So if I give you a bit of a summary of what we discussed in the previous session, we just signposted the 5 things that the Blessed One is talking in this particular sutta. And the first one, of course, is, as we know already, is the virtuous behavior. And the second one he is talking in this is concentration. And the third one is the wisdom. And the fourth is the liberation. And the fifth is how you know you are liberated, which we call knowledge and vision of liberation. So these are the things that we will be discussing in the future from concentration onward. And it will go on for a few sessions. not just 5 sessions. It may take as many sessions as it takes to explain these things. So in on the previous session, we discussed what is virtue. Virtue is basically the nature. Virtue means being good. Being good is what is the nature for. If you are behaving in a different way than good, then it is artificial. So far as virtue is concerned, we specifically, when you talk about the point of view of the society and point of view of self, you can be an example and show, exhibit that you are virtuous. And that exhibition will happen only when you have good conduct. Which good conduct? Good physical conduct and good verbal conduct. So physical and verbal conducts are exhibited in a manner that the society accepts, then you are a virtuous person. So then we call that you have good physical and verbal behavior. So for people to be physically and verbally behave well, there are different types of precepts that you can observe. The different types of precepts that we know are 5 precepts, 8 precepts, and for so far as lay people are concerned, if they want, they can take 10 precepts, and even a novice bhikkhu, or not a novice bhikkhu, or novice monk will also be able to take 10 precepts, but those 10 precepts will be having a slightly different emphasis so far as ordained monks are concerned. And in addition to that, there are 200 odd precepts for a fully ordained monk and 300 odd precepts for nuns. So all these are just to ensure your physical good conduct and verbal good conduct. And the blessed one is dividing the good conduct of monks and nuns in a different way as well. He says Chula Sila, Majjhima Sila, Mahasila. Chula Sila means small, minor precepts. Madhyama Sila means the medium precepts. And Mahasila means very strong precepts. The precepts that fully ordained monks are compelled, are very highly expected of to be maintaining. So that way also the precepts are divided. So when you observe precepts, what we discussed was you will be able to eradicate defilements. The defilements are of threefold. One is eradication of transgressional defilements. Transgressional defilement means if you do something bad, if you have a bad conduct, and that bad conduct will affect you, as well as it will affect another person or a few people or society at large. So that behavior transgress to another layer. So that therefore they are called transgressional. Say for example, when you kill an animal, you know that you have done the bad deed, and even the rest of the world will know. And if you steal, although you think it is stealing and nobody will know, but there are so many ways that other people will come to know. And even if the rest of the world does not know, you definitely know that you have stolen. The person who has lost knows that he has lost. So therefore, two people at least are involved in breaking the precepts. So if you observe that, you will not transgress such defilements, you will not emit negative energies to the society. So therefore, you will be a resource to the society when you observe precepts. So since you become asset to the society, and since you are emitting positive energies to the society, you will not give any fear to the society. But if you break precepts, you are creating fear in the society. You are creating some sort of terror in the society. So therefore, those who break precepts also will get the same fear. They will, since they are generating negative energies, in order to generate negative energies, they will have to be negative first. So therefore, they will have a lot of self-hatred among them, those who are breaking precepts. And they will have fear of blame. Other people will call them all sorts of names. And fear of punishment, because you have done something which the society, which the government will not accept. So therefore, it is very likely that that person will be punished. And the fear of being born in a lower realm. So those are the fears that those who break precepts will have. Even if you avoid the last three, self-hate is something that you can never avoid, because you can't hide it from yourself. You know what you have done. So therefore, when someone is observing precepts, the first beneficiary of observing precepts is the self, nobody else, because you will not have any fear, and you will be very strong character to live in the society. And such people will not be afraid to go into any society and represent in any way that they like, because the mind does not know the so-called negative energies, so-called negativities. So therefore, it's a starting point of maintaining positivity. So those are the things that we discussed in the previous session. And for details, you can listen to the previous talk that we have done. And today, we are going a bit deeper, and to see how the Blessed One has treated virtue in his teaching. And when he is, of course, in this particular sutta, he says, if someone is virtuous himself, and if he is encouraging others to be virtuous, then it is welfare for self as well as welfare for the others. So the first welfare is you take away fear from you, and you also, therefore, on the other hand, give fearlessness, give freedom to the society, because the society will not be will be free from negative energies that are created by breaking precepts. So therefore, that way it is Parahita, Parahita, Attahita, Parahita. I'm sorry. It is called Attahita, Parahita. Attahita means self-welfare. Parahita means others' welfare. So, but when you do this, there will have a question. The entire society is not observing precepts. There are some fractions of the society observing precepts. So even if we say ourselves that we are observing precepts, there will have instances that we will not be able to observe precepts 100%. So if that is the case, someone may have a question. Are we not now able to walk on the path of the Buddha? If virtue is so important, and if we are unable to observe precepts 100%, so are we fully written off? Is a fair question that someone can ask. So this is the difference in Buddha's teaching. In all other teaching, what they say is, if you break, they don't have precepts as such. They have the precepts, but they call it a commandment. They call it something must not do, right? But in Buddhism, there are no commandments. Buddha does not order anything. What Buddha simply says is, these things are bad, and it is your call to listen to me or not listening to me. If you listen to me, you will be a virtuous person, you will be a good person. And if you don't listen to me, you will have the consequences, and there are certain fears associated with what you do, and you will have to face those things. So therefore, Buddha is not commanding anything, but is just showing the pros and cons of the virtues. So since he's doing it that way, it is very easy for people to come and talk to Buddha. And he can be approached, or the monks can be approached in his absence. And people are able to say that I am doing these bad things. And can't I follow Buddhism? Can't I practice Buddhism? And when you look at the history of Buddhism, or what happened during Buddha's time, all of you have heard of Angulimala. Angulimala is a person who has been killing people and collecting fingers to satisfy his teacher. His teacher has requested him as the best present, a garland made of 1,000 fingers. And 1,000, when you say 1,000 fingers, he wanted only one finger from one person, right? So therefore, this person had to kill 1,000 people to get one finger, to get a finger from each and make a garland of 1,000 fingers. So initially when he started doing that, because having a garland of fingers is so gross, so stinky, because you can't have it around your neck. So therefore, initially what he did was, he killed and cut a finger. And then they were hidden in different places where he could remember. And he was thinking later, come and pick all those things and make a garland. But after killing so many people, when he went to check whether the fingers are there, he was not able to find any finger, because animals will come and take them. Wherever you hide, there is no point. So after that, what he did was, he knew that it is not going to work. Then only he started making a garland, and started having the garland around his neck. And such a person, Buddha was able to change. And when he was having 999 fingers around his neck in his garland, and he was going to kill his mother to get the last finger, and mother was coming in search of him and trying to save, and his name was Ahinsaka. Ahinsaka means innocent. So how such an innocent guy became this terrorizing murderer? Mother could not believe, and the mother was trying to go and look for him and make him a good person again. But this person was having other ideas in his mind. So Buddha saw this, And Buddha intervened and told Angulimala, Angulimala, I have stopped and you have not stopped. Then he was shocked to see. And while walking, this shaven head is saying he stopped, but I am not stopped. Then he shouted and said, don't lie. I can see you are walking. I wait for me. I will take one of your fingers as well. But Buddha said, you will not require a finger if you stop. Then it clicked him straight away. And he was able to see how fast, how vicious his mind is running. Then Buddha praised him, just that. And then he threw away the garland and threw away his sword and came to him and became one of his disciples. So why I told this story was during Buddha's time, such a terrorist was able to be tamed by Buddha. It was able to be made a virtuous person. So therefore, even if you are not virtuous to start with, Buddha's doors are open. The doors of the Buddhism is open. Doors of Buddha's path is open. So to begin, it is not compulsory for you to be a virtuous person. That does not mean, okay, you go and do any damn thing and come and we will take. I mean, of course we will take, but it is not a license for anyone to become bad. But if someone is already bad, we have a purification plant. We have a recycling plant, and that is Buddha's teaching. So unlike other teaching, we help, we give a hand those who really in need of changing themselves. We are making it available to the entire society. And if the society is willing, whatever they do, whatever bad deeds they do, we don't mind. We take them on board and we tell them what we are doing, and they will be able to gradually correct themselves. So therefore, Buddha's teaching, as we know, is mainly based on mindfulness. So for you to become mindful, there is no need for precepts. Even if you are not observing precepts, even if you are not a virtuous person, Buddha says you can come on board. And what he says in Four Foundations of Mindfulness Discourse, Sattanang Visuddhya. Sattanang Visuddhya means purification of beings. He does not say purification of virtuous beings. He does not say purification of human beings. He does not say purification of Buddhist beings. He says all the beings. If there is anyone who is able to listen and understand mindfulness, then all are included. It may be human beings, it may be divine beings. No matter who they are, what is required is they should be able to listen, and they should be able to understand. They should be able to put it into practice. So then, no matter whether you are virtuous or not, no matter whether you are a man or a woman, no matter whether you are an adult or a child, no matter whether you are a teacher or a student, no matter whether you are a monk or otherwise, there is no boundary. Anybody will be able to come and purify themselves. So therefore, simply my point is, it is not necessary for someone to be virtuous first and then come to the practice. That is a myth that we have in our society. We are doing bad things, so therefore we can't walk on the path. It is not something that Buddha has said. During Buddha's time, I just gave one example, a terror, a very dangerous terror, has been made a disciple of Buddha, and not only he was made the disciple of the Buddha, and after becoming an arahant, he was awarded the greatest monk of the great monks, Maheshakya Arahatunge, Maheshakya Arahant, which means greatest of the great Arahant was this terror, was this person who has killed more than 1,000 people by himself. Usually, for that to happen, you require an army. But for this guy, he was so clever. I mean, killing people is not a clever thing, but he was having tactics, he was having ways to do such a dangerous thing in a very efficient manner. And although he had been a person like that, he was being purified by Buddha after becoming, after coming into contact with the teaching. So how it happens, or before saying how it happens, even I have few examples like that. And some of you who have been here with me for some time, they may be able to remember the examples I have given. As a layperson, when I went to Canada few years ago, I was also not a very virtuous person during my younger days. I was also, one of them. There is nothing good about me to talk about. So when I went to Canada, we have about 35 of our friends, university friends, and they knew that same person who was in the university is coming. So therefore, they had organized a very good reception for me and for the family. So there were a lot of intoxicating drinks and meat and big party, to say the least. So when I went there and they welcomed us and they started offering these things, and I had to tell them, I'm very sorry, I'm not the same guy who was in the university. I have changed a bit, whether you like it or not. Then they started asking, when did you become a piece of thrown away paper? Because if you don't drink in the society, you are useless. So I said, I don't know whether I'm a thrown away paper or not, whether I'm useless or not, but I'm practicing something called mindfulness, and that has changed me. So then some of the people who were there, they were very interested in knowing what it is. So I started explaining, and then the discussion went for about 1.5 hours. So during this time, everyone who had started taking liquor stopped. Everyone who was holding the glasses, they were just holding, they never took liquor. And everyone who had poured things into their glasses, they never drank. So end of the discussion, all of them went to the sink and emptied the glasses to the sink. So what I'm saying is, by just listening this message of mindfulness, people change. And that is an example that I have experienced myself. And there are a lot of other examples. I have requested some people to take liquor mindfully. And then after a few months, they have stopped it. And for some people, they have been taking drugs. And I have told them to take drugs mindfully. And they have stopped. And not only stopped, they started practicing mindfulness. So therefore, no matter what you do, it is not necessary for you to be, again, I'm saying it is not a license for you to be bad. But if you are already, you always have an alternative with mindfulness. By practicing mindfulness, you will be able to come out of any bad things you do. So therefore, the Buddhism or our teaching is not to stone the sinner. What some of the beliefs, what they do is they stone the sinner. But Buddha says there is no human being who has not done any bad deed. All of us have done a bad deed at one point in our life. So therefore, we can't punish another person. But what we can do is, if we have become good people, then we can tell them how we became good people. Then we can encourage them also to become good people, not just condemn them, not just punish them, not just throw away them from the society. So, therefore, Buddha's teaching is having a way to do it. So now we will see how does that happen. There is a discourse called clear comprehension discourse in once again in numerical discourses. In that discourse, Blessed One is saying, if someone is having mindfulness and if his mindfulness is perpetuating, he will gradually develop moral shame and moral fear. So this is a very strong, this is a very crucial teaching in the Buddhism. If someone is mindful and if the mindfulness is perpetuating, you know what mindfulness is? Mindfulness is the choiceless awareness. And perpetuation of mindfulness means you continuously to be mindful, no matter what you do. So then what happens is, mindfulness is choiceless awareness. It is not choiceless awareness of the next door neighbor, or it is not choiceless awareness of your spouse or the siblings or the partner. It is a choiceless awareness of self, of yourself. So when you choicelessly become aware of yourself, you have the opportunity to see yourself very well, to see yourself very clearly, to see yourself very vividly. So when you see yourself in such a transparent manner, you are able to see the good and bad things you are doing. So when you see if you are doing any unvirtuous things, unacceptable things, you haven't stopped it. But because of your mindfulness, because of the sharpness of awareness of the self, you are able to see these things. And therefore, when you see yourself doing bad things, and if you have at least a little bit of brain activity, you will be ashamed of yourself. You will be having moral fear. Then there is no need to have, punishment regime. There is no need other advisors. There is no counselors and consultants to teach you, because you yourself has seen what bad things you are doing. And human being is a being who has very rational mentality. Irrespective of your educational level, you should be able to understand with the common sense what is going on. So therefore, you, as soon as you see, you haven't stopped, but because of mindfulness, you see that you are doing something bad, that you are taking liquor, that you are taking drugs, that you are stealing, that you are killing. You will be able to see yourself. And even if you kill for fun, maybe in countries like Australia, going fishing is fun. And it has been, it is made a big business. And shooting kangaroos, shooting rabbits is really a fun activity. And they are businesses. In South Africa, killing lions is a huge game of big people, of wealthy people. But no matter what you do, if you are mindful and if your mindfulness is perpetuating, and when you do these things mindfully, you don't feel it doing any longer. So why you don't feel doing any longer is because you start seeing yourself. When you see yourself, you will have moral shame and moral fear. So this moral shame and moral fear, when you have, I will give you another example that I had when I was teaching in Australia. I was teaching for a small group as a layperson in one of the suburbs, a bit further away from Brisbane. And in the first session, after finishing the first session, the the lady of the house, that area was bit of bushy area. So therefore, there are a bit of mosquitoes. A mosquito came and she straight away put the two hands together and the mosquito in between, and the mosquito had a rest in peace session after that. And its funeral was done. Mosquito was killed. And then she looked at me. Why did she look at me? After doing that, since she had practiced, since she had heard of mindfulness, straight away she felt that she did something bad, and she apologized to me. I said, don't apologize to me. Mosquito is already dead. So you didn't kill me. But she said, no, I should not have done that. And why she did that was because it was her habit. And those days before, I mean, if not for this session, they may have been killing 5 or 6 mosquitoes. But after this, even after killing, she was having moral shame and moral fear of what she did. And the next thing happened on the immediately the following month. The same thing happened. A mosquito came, and her hands came very close to the mosquito, but stopped and didn't take the mosquito in between. Not that it escaped, but she stopped putting the hands together and having a clap with the mosquito. So mosquito was freed. And then she looked at me. I said, very good. This is what happened when you practice mindfulness. So Buddha has mentioned this. Buddha has mentioned when you have mindfulness and perpetuation of mindfulness, you will have moral shame and moral fear. And then when you have that, when you are mindful of moral shame and moral fear, and when that is continuing, you will restrain your faculties. You will restrain your faculties means you will restrain your physical and verbal deeds. That is exactly what happened in the second month. She was about to kill, but because of the moral shame and moral fear, and because of a continuation of the awareness practice, and she knew that she is going to kill, and therefore she restrained her hands, and it did not happen. So once you do that, once you restrain in this manner for some time continuously, then gradually you maintain good physical conduct, you maintain good verbal conduct, and maintaining good physical and verbal conduct is in itself become a virtuous person. There is no need to recite the stanzas of virtue. There is no need to recite the sentences of taking precepts. But if you practice in this manner, you naturally become a virtuous person. So therefore, what I want to simply tell is, Buddha is saying, even if you are unvirtuous, no harm, you just come on board. We have a plan to clear you. We have a way to mechanism to purify you. And that is exactly what is happening. And not that is not just simply saying that we have a mechanism. He has explained the mechanism also. So therefore, mechanism is when you have mindfulness and perpetuation of mindfulness, you have moral shame and moral fear. Moral shame and moral fear, when it is continued, you will have restrained faculties. And when the restrained faculties are continued, what is important is this continuation of awareness. And when the continuation of awareness happens, and you naturally become a virtuous person. So that is the mechanism. And that is why Buddha says, Sattanang Visuddhya. That is why Buddha says, I am not stoning the sinner. Everyone is on board so far as the Buddhism is concerned. Only thing that is required is that you become a human being only. So if you are a human being, so far as we are concerned, because we don't know whether divine beings are listening to us. So if the divine beings are listening, of course they will be able to also to practice the same manner. But we have tangible contact with the human beings. So if you are a human being, we will definitely be able to take you on board and purify you. So that is how Buddha is purifying beings. And some people is little misunderstanding what Buddha says. Some people think that when you are virtuous, you have got to be 100% virtuous. You have got to observe each and every precept all the time and 100%. So once it is done, only you will be able to go to the next step. Buddha is not saying that. Buddha is saying you are unable to check yourself whether you are 100% virtuous or not. But there is a mechanism. The mechanism is the one I just mentioned. If you follow that, then you will be naturally virtuous. So if you are virtuous, then the important thing is you should be able to go to the next layer. So Buddhism is not about teaching virtue. Buddha did not come to this world to teach virtue. Even before Buddha came to the world, the virtue was there. Especially if I give you a discourse which we call Hornblower Sutta or Sankadhamma Sutta or Konich Sutta, and in that a disciple of Nigantanatha Putta, and his name is Asibandhu Putta. He is coming to see Buddha when Buddha was staying in Nalanda in a mango tree, and this Asibandhu Putta comes and worship the Blessed One, and then get involved in the discussion. And Blessed One is asking Asibandhu Putta, headman, how does Nigantanatha Putta teach Dhamma to his disciple? Nigantanatha Putta was one of the spiritual teachers contemporary to Buddha. And it is said in the discourses that both the teachers look similar. And even today, there are statues, there are pictures of Nigantanatha Putta, they call Mahavira. And when you see the pictures, you can't identify whether it's Nigantanatha Putta or the Blessed One. So the only way that you can identify is Nigantanatha Putta is not wearing anything. He is having just a wine around his hip, and with that covering the secret parts. So therefore, when you see a statue of Buddha or picture of Buddha, see whether the robe lines are there. If the robe lines are there, then it is Buddha. If it is not robe lines, then it is Nigantanatha Putta. What happened was somebody gave us a present when I was a layperson, and she went to Kathmandu, Nepal, and brought a present for us. And it was Buddha's picture. And we gladly took it, and we were keeping it in our shrine room. One day I suddenly saw there was no robe. I mean, there was nothing visible as such. Then I realized it is not Buddha, it is Nigantanatha Putta. And when we compared the other pictures, it was very clearly different. So what I want to say is, Blessed One is asking Asibandhu Putta how Nigantanatha Putta is teaching Dhamma. Then Asibandhu Putta says, Nigantanatha Putta teaches Dhamma in this way, Lord. All those who take life are destined for a state of deprivation, are destined for hell. all those who steal, all those who indulge in sexual misconduct, all those who tell lies, all those who take intoxications, and all these people are destined to state of deprivation and destined for hell. Whatever one keeps doing frequently, by that is one led to state of bad rebirth. That is how Nigantanatha Buddha teaches Dhamma to his disciple. So once Buddha hears this, Buddha says, if it is true, whatever one keeps doing frequently, by that is one led to a state of rebirth, then no one destined for a state of deprivation, no one is destined for hell, according to Nigantanatha Buddha's words. And then he's asking, what do you think, headman, if a man is one who takes life, then taking into consideration time spent in doing and not doing, whether day or by night, which time is more? Time he spends in taking life is more, or time he is not taking life is more? Then the Asibandhiputta says, if a man takes life, then considering the time spent, doing that will not take long time, but the time not doing it is much longer. So then Buddha says, so if one is having the rebirth based on the time frequency, then no one is going to hell. No one is going to a lower realm, because although they do bad things, they are not doing it frequently. And what is frequently happening is not doing. So if you kill animal, you can't kill animal 24 days. You can't kill animal 24 hours, 7 days a week. Even if you do it daily, you will do it for a few hours. Say 5 hours, 6 hours, or if it is a job, say 8 hours. And there are 16 hours not doing it. And similarly, when you are lying, you can't lie 24/7. When you take intoxications, you can't take 24/7. I mean, not 24/7, even, few hours, people are unable to stand. And sexual misconduct, you can't do all the time. And similarly, stealing, you can't do all the time. So therefore, people not doing time-wise is more. So therefore, no one is going to the hell. So once this was said, this person was really ashamed, and he was hiding his head. He was not having any place to hide himself. He was so ashamed. And then Buddha said, in that manner, nobody will go to hell. And then when Venerable Ananda heard this, after hearing this, Venerable Ananda asked, Bhante, please explain if that is wrong, if what Nigantanatha Buddha is wrong, what are you teaching? Then he says, if someone is no problem, he's doing bad things, but when he is not doing bad things, when he is restraining from those activities, if he is doing good things during other time, he will be able to compensate the bad things that he is doing. And one day there will have an opportunity for him to overtake the bad deeds he has done. And after overtaking bad deeds he has done, he's having an opportunity to become a good person. So that is exactly what is happening when you practice. And when you practice, you gradually become mindful, and you perpetuate your mindfulness. After perpetuating your mindfulness, you gradually becoming more and more, gradually start start to have moral shame and moral fear, and as a result, more restrainment of your faculties, and as a result, you gradually become a virtuous person. And even if you are doing it for as your profession, and you will find another profession, and you will naturally receive another profession. And I have met people who were having such ideas. When I went to New Zealand once, I met some people, and a lot of New Zealand Sri Lankans living in New Zealand, they are associated with farms, especially what do you call, in I exactly don't remember the word. Uh, Rearing cattle, right? So they say they will have to kill cattle every day, and they are fed up of it, and they are looking for other opportunities because they know they gradually become mindful of what they are doing. And then some people have found other jobs which do not involve killing as such. So therefore, the mechanism is working when you really want to do it. And what in practice, what actually happens is, what we do here is, when you come to the practice, you will be doing mindful walking and mindful sitting. When you do mindful walking, mindful sitting, you are trying your level best to bring your attention to the walking process or to the sole of the feet. You try your level best to bring your attention to the breath or to your upper body sitting posture. And by that time, during that time, you may not have been able to bring the attention to the leg. You may not have been able to bring the attention to the breath. But during that time, you have observed all the precepts because you are not doing anything physical or verbal during that time. Only physical thing that you are doing is walking. Only physical thing that you are doing while sitting is sitting. No other physical activities. Of course, you are not talking at all. And during that time, all the precepts are observed. So even if you have not been able to be mindful, to give details, to get the informations of the walking and sitting, just trying it in itself, you become a virtuous person. So suppose there is a person who is doing some bad emanatang, what do you call, uh, unacceptable physical verbal behavior as his profession, as his job. If he practice on a daily basis, 1 hour walking, 1 hour sitting, and during that time, he is not at least doing anything. He is completely becoming a good person. And when you practice in this manner, suppose you get a lot of thoughts of the bad things you are doing because you are not doing anything physical, you are not doing anything verbal, but you can't stop your mind. When you are walking, a lot of thoughts will come. And when you are sitting, a lot of thoughts will come. And the thoughts that are coming may be for unvirtuous people about their breaking of precepts, about killing, about stealing, about sexual misconduct, about lying, about intoxications, about other bad things they have done. And they will be boiling up, oozing out, and you will have so much of bad thoughts while trying to practice. So when this happens, there is something very radical in the teaching. These are mental activities. Having thoughts are mental activities. So your mental activities are coming to the surface because your surface level, no physical activities, no verbal activities. When your physical activities and verbal activities are in the forefront, are on the surface, you will not have an opportunity to see what is in the mind. Because you are doing that. So what is going in the mind, you can't see. But when you practice, if you get these thoughts, then what it says is, it is giving you a certificate. It is giving you a confirmation that you have passed the virtue exam. The certificate that you have become 100% virtuous is that having thoughts of unvirtuous activities. So thoughts of unvirtuous activities is a confirmation that you are restraining your physical and verbal deeds. If you are not restraining your physical and verbal deeds, you don't see mentality. So when you practice, this is why you get thoughts. Not that you are having bad physical and verbal behavior. Maybe it has been happening in the past, in other lives, or it may be trying to make you do those things. But since you are practicing, it is not happening. So therefore, this mental situation is coming into the picture. So when these things are happening, a lot of people get panic and they feel that they are worse off by practicing because they see their mental process. They see the bad things that are going in the mind. Actually, it is not a worse off. It is a situation which is better off because it confirms that you are a virtuous person. That is how the practice confirms that you have become a virtuous person. Since you are not doing any physical and verbal bad deeds, you are now able to see what is going on in the mind. So therefore, the Buddha says, when you, in this manner, when it is happening, now your virtue is complete. When your virtue is complete, the next thing is, in this discourse says, for Attahita Parahita, for the welfare of the self and welfare of the others, monks are supposed to talk of 5 things. The first one is, he will have to talk about the virtue. The second is, he will have to talk about the concentration. And so now, by trying to develop concentration, and by developing concentration, not only your physical deeds, not only your verbal deeds, you will be able to have a better, good mental behavior as well. So therefore, once virtue is complete, when it says sila sila visuddhi yavadeva chitta visuddhatta, which means when virtue, purification of virtue is complete, then you have the basis to purify your mind, which we are going to discuss in the next session. Hope this session has given you some insight into the relationship between mindfulness and virtue, and may this help you to strengthen your practice of mindfulness in the future. Teruvan Saranai. All right. Hope it made some sense to everybody. So I would like to take any questions if anyone is having anything today. How are you all after a long time?
Teruvan Saranai.
Teruvan Saranai.
But yeah, hope America was a good time. I don't know if it's like cold or hot. It's hot there right now, isn't it?
It was warmer, but I fell sick.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Just use the humidity now.
No,
A little
it
bit.
was not having, constant heat, and it goes, the range is so big. So
Mm,
during the daytime, it goes to 30s, and in the
yeah.
night, it drops to 10, 15. And
Oh,
also so much of pollen in the atmosphere. And it was difficult for me.
yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't got too many questions, Thomas. I just got a small question because recently I've been it's regarding the mindfulness. So like constantly I've been telling myself, "Oh, I'm here right now. I'm here right now," and it just happens automatically at this point. Um, so during the practice, there's no I'm not focused on an object. I'm just telling myself, "Oh, I'm here. I'm here right now," and during the theater practice, I'm doing the same. And that just happens throughout the whole day when I'm at work, when I'm home. And the question is like I experience uh this, I don't know what to call it, but the awareness that's beyond my mind and my body. It's the same voice that tells me, "Oh, I'm here right now." Is that what you mean by keeping the mindfulness to the fore, just being there in that moment, in that specific time? I don't know if you got
Um,
the
I,
question.
no, I didn't understand the last bit.
Um, so telling, so constantly I'm telling myself, "Oh, I'm here right now," but it's like it's like something I experience beyond my body.
Something that experience
That
you
I experience
beyond your body.
beyond my body. Yeah, yeah. So it's the same voice that tells me I'm like, it doesn't matter what's going on outside around me right now. I'm here right now. Um, that I'm always telling myself that constantly, and that's kind of automatic at this point. So when I'm at work, I'm just doing the work. I'm not worried about what others are thinking. Obviously, I used to worry a lot more about what he's thinking, what she's thinking, and that used to like cause a lot of like chaos in my mind. Um,
Hmm.
so those things slowly started fading away, and once I started telling myself, "Oh, I'm just here right now. I'm just here right now," um, and that voice just becomes automatic. So even right now, I'm just like there's like a voice in my mind. I'm just here right now, and that is like a lot more prominent, at least like through like 80% of the day, 90%. Even if I lose it, I remind myself, "Oh, I'm just here right now." Um, and during the practice, I'm not worried about like focusing on like my foot, my feet, or like my body. I'm just telling myself, "Oh, I'm just here." Um, yeah, I'm just wondering if that's the correct, if that's the right path, or like,
Yeah, no, it's a good juncture, since you have been practicing for some time. And
yeah.
why I'm saying it's good juncture is because when we practice mindfulness, it comes to a point you try to um, cling to mindfulness. You
Mm,
try to grab hold of mindfulness. Let everything else go, but I'm not letting you go.
mm,
So therefore, people tend to always. Now, in your case, you are saying I'm here right now, and some people say mindful, mindful, mindful. Some people say aware, aware, aware. Some people say knowing, knowing, knowing. So all those are ways to hold on to mindfulness, right? So I mean, I'm not saying not to say it. You can say once or twice, but what is more important is when you, after saying that, if you are here and now, you should be able to observe what is going physically during that time, because you are your physical process and mental process is together. So therefore that observation is what confirms whether that muttering of I am here right now is actually working.
mm,
So therefore, um, sometimes by doing that, it tries to maintain at the superficial level. It does not give you an opportunity go deep into it.
Yeah.
So
The
therefore,
experience.
you are not allowing. It is not your fault, and that is how the mind is working. Mind is not allowing you to see the other side of mindfulness. The other side of mindfulness is, if you are right here and right now, and you just let loose mindfulness, and when you are doing something, you will be able to observe that the mindfulness is not right here right now as well. You are doing something, but your attention is not there, it is going somewhere else. You can observe that as well. If the right here right now is actually working. But now the mind is trying to convert this right here right now situation for concentration purpose, not to awareness purpose. And the mind is trying to tie you down to the activity you are doing. But we can't do it. So therefore, what we will have to do is, you take right here right now, and you take your attention to what you are doing, and then just simply maintain awareness and gather information of what is happening. And that, of course, cannot be done while working and while doing some day-to-day activities. But when you practice and when you do day-to-day activities on your own, then you will be able to see. That is better mindfulness than trying to hold on to mindfulness. So by doing, what happens is, this is again a mind game. This is a clash between energy faculty and the mindfulness faculty. Now your energy faculty is trying to be smart, and it is trying to overpower mindfulness. So it is trying its level best to put 100% to hold on to mindfulness. So therefore, saying I am right now is good, but not all the time, right? If you have observation capacity right here, right now, you let it be there and you simply observe. And then you will be able to see mindfulness also cannot be held on to. And that is a better observation than holding on to mindfulness. Does it make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. So like it's pretty much just letting go of like just telling myself, like, trying to force it pretty much, and rather than that, just observe, like just be kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you just observe and be happy about the observation. Yeah, mind is very tricky. Although you understand that, although you practice for some time, it is somehow they're trying to take an opportunity and put you in a different way. And mind somehow or other tries to corner us to concentration rather than to awareness.
Yeah.
So it's good that you presented this report.
Yeah. The only reason was like, I think the reason I was forcing it was because like it started working for me. Like, obviously, like, with the cravings I experienced,
Yeah.
I experienced like the other side as well, just suffering to maintain the cravings. And
Yeah.
somehow like this, like it kind of just calmed everything down for me. Like,
Yeah.
because I would like,
Yeah.
and I actually felt like it was like working in a way to the point where like things started working out. And that was like that part of it was like consistent, like for like a good 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And where things just started falling, like things started feeling right. And then like that's where I think that's where it got caught, like I got caught up in it.
Yeah, no, this is exactly how. This is why I said it's a mind game. Now these are the mental corruptions, underlying tendencies. Underlying tendencies are coming in a fleeting way. Underlying tendencies are coming in a perverted manner. So these are the perversions of the mind, and it shows you that you have achieved. Once it shows you that you have achieved, then you gradually, indirectly, you start a different type of craving. You don't have the normal craving that you have had. Now it is gradually creating a craving towards mindfulness.
Yeah. That's pretty accurate.
Yeah. So it is, that is how the practice develops.
Yeah.
And these things should happen. Without those things happening, you will not know how our mind is working. Now, this is something that happened to you. Now you understand it much better than listening it in a talk, than listening it for some others' question. Now it is your own experience. So therefore, the mind is working in a manner that is completely unpredictable. So so it's how it progresses. So these are mental corruptions. So let them bring out, because they are bringing mental corruptions, because the transgressional defilements are tackled, and obsessional defilements are tackled. So the deeper layers of the mind is now activated, and that is also activated not towards the sensual world. It is activated now towards a spiritual world. So that is how it progresses. So it's a good sign, but you may feel that it has a bad sign. So far as the practice is concerned, so far as the teacher is concerned, it is how the progress is happening.
Yeah. Teruan
Sarana. Anybody else? All right. So if there are anything from Brisbane, Chatu?
I was just going to say, I think there was some two newcomers, Pansara and Chavitu.
Yeah. I spoke to them.
Oh, okay, good.
They were the only people at the beginning, so I observed precepts with them, and I met them in Canberra. So they have joined for the first time. So they have been taken care of.
Okay, good. Because I was just going to mention, if they want, they can join our youth program as well.
No, I have given them the option, and they preferred this one over the other one. And sometimes now, since they have experienced this, they might see the other one as well, and then they decide which one they will come to.
Good. Teruan
Saranai. So, and we are seeing you after a long time.
Yeah, sorry, but because I'm struggling to find job, so yeah, keep making an effort to do my best in the work, overtime all the time.
Right.
No, so
Okay.
sorry,
All right.
Bante.
No, that's all right. That's all right. It's good that you keep in touch and keep the practice whenever you can. That's
I always
important.
listen, Bante. I always listen to the YouTube inside the WhatsApp. So I always catch up all the It's just that
Good.
practicing is still left behind
Right.
very long
That is very important as well.
Yeah, Bante. But I'm good. Thank you, Bante.
Yeah. Thank you. All right. So if there are no more questions, comments, complaints, Pansara, is that Pansara? I'm sorry. I'm not quite sure whether do you have anything to say, Puta?
No, we don't really have any questions. Yeah. It's a really good discussion.
Right. Okay. Good. So since we have done quite a bit of generated quite a bit of energies, we will be able to now pass these energies to the rest of the beings. So who is going to do it? Can I give it to Brisbane today?
I can do it, Bante. It's okay. Do you want me to read the English one or the Attahita
Yeah,
one?
English one. Yeah, okay, I'll give it to you then.
Attahita or the English one? I'm
English
good.
one, please.
English one, yep, okay. I'll start now, Bante. Is that here?
Yes, please.
May all devas share this merit, which we have thus accumulated for the acquisition of all kinds of happiness and prosperity. May all other beings share this merit, which we have thus accumulated for the acquisition of all kinds of happiness and prosperity. May all the beings share this merit, which we have thus accumulated for the acquisition of all kinds of happiness and prosperity. May all the beings inhabiting space and earth, devas and nagas, and of mighty power have shared this merit, long protect the dispensation. May all beings inhabiting space and earth, devas and nagas of mighty power, having shared this merit, long protect the teaching. May all beings inhabiting space and earth, devas and nagas of mighty power, have shared this merit, long protect me and others. If by deed, speech, or thought, heedlessly I have done any wrong, forgive, O Master, O Victor greatly wise. If by deed, speech, or thought, heedlessly I have done any wrong, forgive, O Dhamma, to be seen here and now, timeless. If by deed, speech, or thought, heedlessly I have done any wrong, forgive, O Sangha, practice well the incomparable. Let this merit accrue to our departed relative, and may they be happy. Let this merit accrue to our departed relative, and may they be happy. Let this merit accrue to our departed relative, and may they be happy. By the grace of this merit that I have acquired, may I never follow the foolish, but only the wise up to the time I attain Nibbana. By the grace of this merit that I have acquired, may I never follow the foolish, but only the wise up to the time I attain Nibbana. By the grace of this merit that I have acquired, may I never follow the foolish, but only the wise up to the time I attain Nibbana.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. All right. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Yeah. Thank you, Bante. Thank you, Bante. See you.
Teruvan Saranai.
Yes, yes, yes.
Teruvan Saranai. Teruvan Saranai.